Hey everybody, and welcome to Story on the Spot. We have a very full house today. My name is Jim Heskett. Going over there is Kevin Tumlinson. Past Kevin Tumlinson, I'm sticking my hand through him, is Nick Thacker. It says reindeers are better than people. Down there, I am Jack's broken heart. That is Mr. R.A. McGee. And rounding out the trapezoid is Craig A. Hart. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
I'm really boring. I need to start coming up with some clever names.
Yeah, you're definitely the one.
Yeah, my problem is I have to remember to unclever the name when I do other live streams.
All right, guys, we'll be right back after the intro. All right, everyone. Hey, on the count of three, I want everyone to say their favorite kind of ice cream. 1, 2, 3. Thanks, guys. That went well. First of all, I just want to give everybody watching and listening a quick little update in case you've been missing some episodes. Up here at the top left, Nick Thacker moved to Hawaii. Kevin Tumlinson moved into an RV. And R.A. moved on Chewbacca when he bested him in battle. So those are some...
not do anything.
It kind of looks like Chewbacca's holding up R.A.'s head right there.
Yeah, I feel like I lost this battle.
Who won this?
This is so disrespectful right now.
Oh, I had it back. Which one was Chewbacca? I have it backwards, I guess.
Hey-oh. All right.
Hey, we're both hirsute brown things, so I guess I'm not mad at it.
So welcome to the show. If you're watching live, comment below. Let us know where you are watching from. Also, you can visit storyonthespot.live and see all our websites, because you know what? If you're watching, you're probably into books, and all of us here, we're all authors, and all of us in some form or another will give you a free book on our websites if you enter at least one. Free.
I got a pre-order
authors. We try.
Go to my site.
Yeah, Kevin's got a new book coming out right quick. But what we do on this show, we're here on this show to actually invent some stories. So, but first of all, some housekeeping from last week. Week number 19 winner is Kevin Tumlinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's coming up, Kevin.
Kevin, you can thank Lisa Badger, because she didn't watch live, but she went in and she voted for you a few times, and that put you up the edge over RA.
I've always loved you, Lisa.
I just want to know, Kevin. I want you to know, Kevin. That's the title of my autobiography that'll be coming out later. Everything's coming up, Kevin.
Everything's
the Nick Thacker story.
All right, guys.
Mine will be waiting on Kara.
We have a bonus word this week, and that bonus word is buttress, which can mean a projecting support of stone or brick built against a wall, or a source of defense or support. Anytime you use the bonus word, you will get a bonus point. And what are these points, you are asking? Well, I know you guys know. But if you're watching, you want to know what the points are. So after, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a story idea up here on the screen to read it. And then these four gentlemen are going to pitch a story idea. And you can vote by comment which one you think is best. And now let's get into our first story. This is called Dipped Village. People living around Olten, Switzerland got a surprise this summer when it began snowing cocoa powder. Strong winds that morning distributed the cocoa dust from a malfunctioning ventilation system at the Lindt in Springly chocolate factory nearby, delivering a powder coating throughout the town. The company offered cleaning services, but no one took them up on the offer. The company also says the ventilation system has been repaired. Or the company also says the ventilation system has been repaired. See what I did there? Totally different take on the story.
You scare
You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I did the wrong emphasis, yeah. All right, so who among you gentlemen is going to be the first to pitch us a original story based on this idea of the cocoa powder snow in Olten, Switzerland? Craig, what do you got?
Go get it out of the way. So one might think that gut reaction, the powder is, some sort of nerve agent and trying to take over. But no, in fact, what it's very an amateur house or cat burgling team. And so what they did was they went into the chocolate factory there and created a problem in the ventilation system to create this snow. And so what their plan was to do was offer these cleaning services to the entire town, and they could go in and encase the houses and then make clean getaways when they had the next opportunity to break in. Unfortunately, nobody took them up on it because the town actually enjoyed that sort of thing, Switzerland being known for chocolate as it is. And so the plan totally fell through, but that was the nefarious desire. It just didn't pan out the way they thought it would.
Just didn't pan out. All right. Thank you, Craig Hart.
Well, I guess I was gonna be a nerve agent, but clearly Craig took that off the table. So I'll have to not only. I mean, so this story. He just wanted to make sure no one else could use the idea of a nerve agent, or he gave his idea for it.
It was a nerve agent. There was also money laundering, and there was also
unfair.
Well, I was trying to buttress my own story by eliminating other possible plot lines as well.
So
another cheap shot. What is wrong with me today? Sorry, guys.
Well, you may all think that this is a heist situation, but it's actually a classic case of nanotechnology being released by the company that's behind the nanobots. They've basically infiltrated this chocolate factory and have dropped their nanobots into the big vat of cocoa powder that's being produced by Lind, and then broken the ventilation system.
Nick, we lost you.
You dropped out.
He is trying to reconnect. Yeah,
He's
I don't know if
Oh, guys, I can't get it working. My
My mouth is
story,
moving, but you can't hear me.
I mean,
Give
I've
me
seen
points.
Nick do a lot of things to get out of work before, but I don't think I've seen this one particularly.
So that's basically what we're talking about.
Clear winner.
Hey, what a great story.
Well done, sir.
So
Well done.
his story incorporated mine. You can't go wrong.
You get the gist of it, though, right? I mean, I don't have to rehash what I said when I was muted.
All right, Nick, you can get away with that one if you want.
All right.
So we know it's not a heist, and we know it's not a nerve agent.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go next. I'll let Kevin back clean up. So I think that we are dealing with some on.
Same old gag. Same trick. You can't.
Oh my goodness!
Just because it worked for Nick doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody.
I already used this. He's trying to buttress his points with being muted.
Well, it's terrible that nobody can talk today because I made a new Dun 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 graphic and I am itching to display it. I'm really excited about it, but I need somebody to give me a good twist. I can display the.
Twist. You're muted, RA. It shows you as muted.
I can't.
This is riveting television.
Am I good?
There you are.
Am I here? Am I back? Okay. Sorry. I'm so derivative, man. I can't believe I just ripped them off so blatantly.
You knocked out both of these guys.
Listen, I should not come back next week.
At least my microphone actually needed to be reset. He just had the unmute button pressed.
No, it's weird that it just pressed itself, but in any event.
That is weird. That is weird how things do.
That is
like
weird.
That.
People don't think it be like it is, but it do.
When they do.
So I think we're dealing with some enterprising chocolatiers at the Lindt factory. And so what happened is, as COVID-19 swept through Europe, chocolate was deemed non-essential, right? Chocolate makers. And so we had some people that were getting laid off, some people that weren't kind of making the kind of money that they would normally make. So they decided that they really only have one skill to give the world, and that's make damn chocolate, So they are sneaking in at night through the air vent to make black market chocolate so they can wrap it up and they can get it out on the streets and they can sell it. They can be the chocolate pushers, because during this time, no one else has any. And so they were getting all kinds of crazy prices for their chocolate. But unfortunately, once they didn't, fully close the gate, the ventilation gate behind them with the filters, and the chocolate started kind of blowing out into the world, and it hipped everyone to their little ring, their little chocolatiering ring that they had going on. So I think that's what's going on there.
Nice. Thanks, R.A. All right. Kevin, what do you got?
Okay. All right. So clearly, this is a case of otherworldly invasion or the prevention thereof. Lint, unbeknownst to everyone, is built over this gaping opening to another reality, a hellish reality. And they actually have structures in place to buttress our reality against that one, to prevent the collapse of the barrier between the two. And so because of the shift in the way the world's working, and they've got fewer employees, so they've got fewer people like going through and maintaining things. Something has happened to the precious equipment used to keep this reality at bay, and this creature, otherworldly creature, bursts through. And when he does, there's an explosion of this cocoa powder that goes all over the scene. And they are actually able to use this cocoa powder to trace the creature and hunt it wherever it's gone. And that's why they put out the offer to clean homes. They figure if they can get into people's homes, they can find where this vile, evil, otherworldly creature has gone. So they're on the hunt, the chocolate hunt.
The Chocolate Hunt. That's a good episode title, The Chocolate Hunt.
HP love cocoa.
All right.
They
Next
just
up,
Swiss missed him.
We have Swiss missed him. It's time for a bonus round. Okay, I'm going to throw this out here, and one person can answer it to multiple people. If Indiana Jones, let's say Indiana Jones had a really popular Instagram account, how would it have affected the plot of the first movie?
Well, I mean, I think that, at the very least, he wouldn't have been able to go back to Marion and find out, what her dad knew, because she would have already, gotten on her Instagram and slandered him everywhere. And so, he would have gotten like Me Too'd and like all that stuff, because of the way that he used her when she was a young girl. So I think he would have never been able to get the key in the first place, because everyone would have been amping them up. So I think the movie would have been doomed from the start if he had a popular Insta.
I think he would have been crushed and killed in the first scene, because he would have paused to say hashtag boulders, am I right?
Yeah.
And it would have gotten him.
Hashtag Archaeology Life.
Hashtag my whip.
All right. Anybody else? Sometimes
nobody wants to touch that. They don't want to touch that.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. It would just probably never would have happened.
Which is why did it have to be snakes?
Because we have Instagram now. This is literally why we do not have a real life Indiana Jones today. I mean, that's clearly the cause and effect relationship here. So
thanks a lot, Facebook.
Yeah, I think that's really what would happen. But yeah, you'd also, the movie would have there'd be no, ebbs and flows, because he would just pose a question on his Insta, and every single person would Google it and give him the answer he needs. To get through all the historic moments, and he would just be like, "Great, cool, that's the answer. Here we go. How do we figure out this puzzle?" Instagram, and they'd be like, "Oh, hop that one. No, not that one." And then here we go.
What's up, Insta family? Are these darts poisonous? Let me know in the
comments. Nice.
Take my survey in the comments.
All right. Story number 2. This is called Yikes. Workers at the Robert H. Cole Funeral Home in Detroit got a start when a body they were about to begin embalming came to life. Fire department paramedics in suburban Southfield were called to a home when they found 20-year-old Corinna Beatrice unresponsive. After trying to resuscitate her for half hour, they consulted an ER doctor who pronounced the patient deceased based on medical information provided from the scene, according to the fire department. She was transported to the funeral home where, more than an hour later, she opened her eyes and staff summoned emergency crews to take her to a hospital where she was listed in critical condition.
I'll go on this.
All right, Kevin, what do you got?
Yeah. Okay. So you would think this would be like coming back from the dead or a zombie story, but that's not it at all.
Nor is it a heist, nor is it an alien invasion,
or money laundering.
So, no, what this is we because of this event, we discover that out in this sort of omniverse, like there's more than one reality. Like there's multiverses, there's a whole expanse of realities out there. And there are certain people who are moving from reality to reality, but they can't do it if there's a living version of themselves in the reality that they are entering. And this girl is actually somebody who is on the run from someone or something that is trying to track her down and take her down. And so she's been looking for an opening to get out of the world she was in. And this provided that opening. This girl who was unresponsive, there was like just enough life to keep her, hanging on until that second she passed, and our hero leaps into her body and takes over from there. So she's on the run from the hell beast that is covered in chocolate, and there's no longer being buttressed by the lint factory. I don't even know if I'm using that word correctly at this point. But that's what this is. It's a girl on the run story, leaping from body to body, hoping that each leap will be the leap home.
All right. I got this. Yeah. So as Kevin mentioned,
just remember, it's not a zombie story, heist story.
That's right. Yeah. I just want to point out it's not a time travel story. What we have here is it's a classic case of a new kind of game in the market. There's a guy that sells insurance, and it's like bridge coverage for health insurance, for medical, people who can't quite afford going on their own and all that. He sells a particular kind of care that's very expensive, but it's like a 50% deductible type thing. Well, here's the deal: he makes a lot of money when someone purchases his insurance and then has to go to the hospital. And so what he's done, and I was doing some research for some books, and this popped up. So I'm going to use this. This is what happened. There's a tree in Australia called the Gimpy Pimpy tree, and it is apparently one of the worst pains imaginable. What happens is if you touch this tree, it's like a bunch of tiny little needles, and that somebody said that it's like being burnt with hot acid and electrocuted at the same time. And here's the deal: it can render you unconscious. It's something that will last up to a year, the pain from it. It can cause all kinds of health problems. And so this guy's figured out that no one in the US knows anything about this or is even looking for this kind of thing. And so he goes and he stings people he rubs them with a leaf, basically. And that causes all kinds of trouble for them. And then they go to the hospital and basically become a, long-term stay at the hospital. And he makes a bunch of money, buttressing his fortune.
Buttressing his fortune. Thank you, Nicholas. All right, who wants to go next to talk about the Robert H. Cole funeral home story?
All
right. Go. Oh, go ahead, Ari. No, you got it.
All right. Okay. Sorry, man. So I think that we are dealing with a.
It's not what though. It's. I don't know what you deal with first. I think we should probably not deal with something else before Craig has to go and pick something different.
I forgot to mention earlier that this is not a classic story of anything.
Yeah.
I start muting you people.
Now Craig knows why we make him go last.
Thought that was the good spot, huh? Okay, well, it's definitely not a case of time travel or heist, like you guys said. I don't think it's a case of poisonings by the Gimpy Pimpy tree either. So if Craig was going to steal that idea, I don't think you should, because it's not that for sure. But the Gimpy Pimpy, but the Gimpy Pimp, I don't know. So I think we're dealing with a person who was cursed a long time ago to always find their way back to life, right? And so it's kind of like a Dorian Gray situation, except you know, she thought that in the beginning, this is great, I get to live forever, yada yada yada. And then the problem is she doesn't really die, and so she, you know, tries to help out and fight crime and stuff. And whenever she dies, she comes back to life. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think I like that one. Good luck, Craig. I wish you the best, sir.
I'm just over here. I'm over here Googling crimes because they've all been, you know, disqualified ahead of time.
Removed from the
It's
table.
not jaywalking.
It's not insurance fraud.
I do, by the way, like how this is negating the benefit of going last.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what I had in mind when I started this mess. Anywho, so what is happening at this funeral home is, well, suspected is that there's kind of an underground nefarious operation going on. And Robert H. Cole is the guy, is the pseudonym of the guy, but really those initials stand for a criminal organization called Really Horrible Criminals. And this is their head. You know they're legit, right? The name of it.
Oh,
It's a good guess.
hey, this is a new graphic. I like this.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
You see, I like this. I spent a lot of time on this because you see the blue guy first over here on the left. Then you see the red guy, but it's the purple guy hiding behind the font who sneaks up on you. He's really the scary one over there in the corner. Okay, I'm sorry, Craig.
You should have spent a longer time on that joke than you should have spent on that graphic. I'm just going to throw that out there.
It's a tough room today, man.
That's it for today,
I'll be
guys.
back.
Thanks for watching.
I want to go invest in some real estate very quickly. You guys hold the fort.
So this town is Detroit, but it's actually Detroit, Australia, and this funeral home is actually built from the wood from the Gimpy tree, and everybody who works there is immune. They've just been stung so many times or touched it so many times, it just doesn't matter anymore. And they built it on the site where an ancient people had discovered time travel and built a machine there. But they discovered that, dismantled the machine because who wants to mess with all that? And then they built their funeral home, and this is their headquarters of their international criminal organization called Really Horrible Criminals. Well, anyway, what this other organization, the spy group, is doing, the good guys, they said, we need to infiltrate this, but how are we going to get in there? You know, it's the Gimpy tree all around. It's kind of like having, you know, a giant moat with alligators, for example. It's just pretty clever on their part. So what they
think
did
in Australia it would be crocodiles. But
crocodiles.
I'm just.
Are you seriously not going to throw a buttress mention in right there, Craig? You're talking literally.
Hey, I'm not only half done here, guys.
sorry.
Just kidding, cooking.
So what they do, like, we're going to, you know, inject one of our agents with this serum that simulates death, and that will get them in there. And we all know that once you get to the funeral home, because we've all been dead at one point or another, is when you first get there, they leave you alone so your body can acclimate to the environment there, because a new place and whatnot, and dead bodies are sensitive that way. So they left this body alone for an hour, and that gives her time to come out of her stupor and go about and gather all the information and intel she needs, take pictures, take notes, and then out she goes, and nobody's the wiser except that, oh, where's the body go? But this place is such a wash in nefarious activities and buttressing the activities of their other headquarters around the world that they don't even notice one more missing dead body, because it happens all the time. And within a year, the good guys are able to bring down the really horrible criminals, and the world is saved, and everybody lives happily ever after.
Woo! All right. Thank you, Craig. Hey, I want everyone to note where RA is sitting right now in the tree. Dun, 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 dun.
Busy with these graphics this week.
It's unnerving. Yeah. Well, I don't make up stories on this show, so this is my contribution. This is about
how to tell when Jim's been laid off from work.
I'm eating only ramen, but I have some really amazing graphics that I made for this show.
Life gives you lemons.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching today. If you look down there at the bottom, you'll see all our websites. You'll see jimheskett.com, kevintumlinson.com. and nickpacker.com. Down there's R.A. McGee and CraigAHart.com. But also, you know what? Instead of that noise, if you just go to storyonthespot.live, you will see all of our information there. And, go to that website and then tap on somebody's face. There's our pictures there. Tap on a face and download some free books from our website, because who wouldn't want free books by tapping on somebody's face?
Well, phrasing's not a thing. We're not doing phrasing.
I'm not doing phrasing anymore.
Okay.
I'm not doing phrasing anymore.
No graphic for the URL. You don't have a graphic for the URL.
God, now I got to make one. Thanks a lot, Kevin.
Sheesh, man.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Again?
Oh, wait. I have a really big announcement, something important. I should have mentioned at the top of the show, but next week, September 16th, we are probably, if the stars align, going to have a guest on the show, and this will be our first ever non-bearded guest. First ever contestant on the show who is not in possession of a beard. So that should be pretty exciting.
Wait, like wearing a beard or just in possession of a beard? Because I know plenty of women who own beards, but they just don't wear them.
I feel like I've already said too much.
Like hanging on their wall.
I know RA's tired of being the only white woman on the show.
I really am. It's very hard. I think we need to talk about this. I'm feeling isolated and not listened to. I'm not seen around you guys. Okay?
I see you, bro. I see you.
All right. Well, we'll fix that after the show. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
All right, see you.